So Queensberry Promotions and BT Sport held a press conference earlier on today to announce that Moses Itauma will be making his pro debut on the Beterbiev Anthony Yarde show on the 28th of this month. So on that undercard. Now, he did several interviews where he was reiterating his desire to try and break Mike Tyson's record and become the youngest heavyweight champion in history. He said that part of the reason for him turning pro and going for this goal is the uncertainty surrounding whether boxing is actually going to be in the next Olympics, because that's all up in the air at the moment. And he's also said that when weighing up what would be more special, winning a gold medal or becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history, he thought to himself, look how many people have got gold medals. They're not that rare in boxing. But in terms of breaking a record and becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history, that's a far more lofty achievement. That's far less common. That could be a record, if he manages to break it, which could stand for several decades. I mean, you look at Mike Tyson's record, it stood for over 30 years now, being the youngest heavyweight champion in history. So these are the reasons that Moses Itauma has decided to go for it. I'm certainly excited about it as a boxing fan because I like to see records broken. I like to see new things. I like to see progress, etc. And yeah, Itauma is the first guy who I can recall anyway. I've been watching boxing a long time. The first guy I can recall who really stood a good chance of breaking Mike Tyson's record. I know Daniel Dubois turned pro around 18. I think Hughie Fury turned pro around 18. But neither one of those guys, to my eyes, looked anywhere near as developed as Moses Itauma. Itauma looks very, very developed. You go look at his fights, and he's had a lot of amateur experience, and he's been fighting at a high level. Look at the way he boxes. This is a guy who's advanced in terms of technique, fluidity, footwork, confidence, ring generalship, so on and so forth. Far more advanced than Daniel Dubois or Hughie Fury, for my money. So that's why I say that he has a much better chance of doing it than either of those guys. Also, the heavyweight landscape at this stage is a bit different because you've got Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk at the top with the belts. Both guys are in their mid-30s. Surely, in the not-too-distant future, those belts are going to get scattered. And when the belts get scattered, that's where an opportunity may arise for Moses Itauma to fight for one of the belts and try and break this record. Now, I think he said that it's by May, midway through May in 2025, that's where he needs to do it by. And it might seem a long time away now, but as he said in previous interviews, that time will fly. So he says he's going to get out or aims to get out. And I think Francis Warren, who's managing him, said that this is the plan, to get out 8 times this year and then 8 times next year. So 16 fights in 2 years. BT and Queensberry at this stage, do they have enough shows? Is there enough activity to get that done? Probably. But I think to be on the safe side, I'm not sure if this is in his contract, it would be a good idea to allow Itauma to fight on other people's shows rather than just be bound to fighting on Queensberry shows. That probably won't happen, I'm going to guess. But if it was possible, that would be the ideal scenario where he can actually fight on other people's shows in order to just keep the activity level up, even if he has to go abroad. So, yeah, that's the announcement. Moses Itauma will be fighting on the undercard of Beterbiev versus Anthony Yarde. I very much look forward to seeing his pro debut. There's no opponent announced at this stage. And of course, fighting 8 times, if they manage to do that, injuries permitting, fighting 8 times in his first year as a professional, they're actually going to need to fight some decent competition if they're going to go for a heavyweight title tilt, let's say at the back end of 2024 or early 2025. They're going to have to fight some decent competition at the back end of this year and maybe top 10 competition early, mid 2024. So let's see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think. Actually, no, hang on. Let me rewind and pull up. 2023, 25. So yeah, yeah, maybe it'll be like mid-May 2025, because Mike Tyson was 20 years old, 4 months and 20-something days. So it's actually nearly 20 years old and 5 months. So anyway, Itauma talks about it in several interviews. So make sure you go and watch those. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Moses Itauma attempting to break Mike Tyson's record.